we are. All right, here we are. Here we are. All right, here we are. Rogue Regan World Headquarters. And we got another part for the moth project. So you saw in the last video, a little bit of a disappointment with the lack of wind. So learned a ton from it. Obviously go out when there's more breeze, but hey, it was good to get the boat wet and to figure some things out. And one of the things that I figured out is pretty important is the launch and retrieval of the boat. So going out of the club there, out of my club, is great. If you got an FJ or laser, you could just slide the boat in off the ramp and go on your way. But with the Moth, you got to flip it on its side, put the foils in, and it's kind of takes some time, and I don't want to be in the way of people, and I also just want to make the transition easier for me and maximize my time in the water. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a molly, and you can see here's the parts behind me. A molly is a moth trolley. So we've got like our regular trolleys for rolling the boat around that you've seen the boat on already, but this is one that that I've seen a bunch of the other guys out there at the world, seen a lot of pictures and videos of these things in action. I'm like, what the heck is that? So I pinged the fleet, and some guys sent me a bunch of different pictures of their different designs, so I kind of like came up with my own version from theirs. And so this is gonna be my first attempt at it, but basically it's a set of wheels. There, set of wheels, dinghy or dolly wheels that basically attach to the ends of your rack, so you can tip your moth on its side, put the foils on, and then set it inside this molly, and then roll your boat down the ramp pretty easily and just splash from there. So yeah, so try to time lapse it. Time lapse didn't work. Hopefully this next one goes well, but so just catching up. So I was originally going to make it out of some PVC tube that would conform to the side of my tramps, to the racks there. Couldn't find the right diameter, and then I talked to my buddy Dave that's helped me out a lot on boat projects, especially on this moth project, and he goes, oh hey, you know, I mentioned PVC. He's like, oh, I got a bunch of off chunks of starboard, so it's kind of heavy, this dense plastic. It's great in the marine environment stuff. So he had a pile of it, and so got a few chunks of it and cut it, ripped it down to the table saw to the right size. And so yeah, so these are gonna be the sides. There's gonna be a base, and then I just happen to have a chunk of this is actually SciTech dolly tube, axle tube that I've had like 4 of them for like I think 15 years, and I keep going, oh, I should just chuck them, but I'm like, oh, eventually I'll use them someday. And I've used a couple of them, and I had a couple left, and so got that. That's gonna be like the axle. And then went to West Coast Sailing and picked up some new axles, and then and I had already picked up new wheels or new tires for the dolly, and so these are the old. They're still fine. They just leak a little bit, but they'll be adequate for this molly. Yeah, so it's gonna get all bolted together. It just sounds funny calling it a molly, but yeah. So this is one of the projects that are gonna knock out real quick, and then hopefully in this episode, you'll get to see me foiling. That's the plan. Get out there on the water again. But yeah, it's cold. It's January. There's gonna be plenty of wind. I live in San Francisco Bay, so I just have to have some patience, but we'll get out there and we'll get some sweet footage. So I kind of made myself like a set here. But yeah, so the next step I'm gonna do is, just cause I have the tools, I've got my router with a 1/4 inch round over bit, and I'm just gonna round over the edges on this thing just to make it look nice. I'm kind of going a little bit above and beyond for my first version of this, because there's a good chance this might not even work, but positive thoughts. But I think this is going to be a game changer for launching and retrieving of my moth, maximizing my time on the water. So yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and just route the ends of this, and then I'll start assembling. Alright, it's all about having the right tools. See that? That just puts that nice like round edge on it. That way it doesn't like scratch up my tramps. And it looks nice. And it won't, whatever, scuff off my hand or something, but it's fun. This is gonna be the handle to lift it up with. So stoked. Made a huge mess here in the shop. Get that all cleaned up here. All right, I got it all set up like a kit. So there's the bottom two sides, the axle or the little axles, tires. This is a little kickstand to keep it sitting upright while you put the boat in, and got all the nuts and bolts and everything. So yeah, this is kind of a fun little puzzle that I made myself. All right, there it is, the Molly. Yeah, so if you saw at the end of the video, kickstand was a little too high, so I moved it to there. So yeah, so that's the kickstand there so that it stays upright while you're dropping your wings into there. But yeah, no, I'm super stoked on it. It's a little heavy, but it's not like I'm like carrying this thing around. And the cool thing is it's fully, you can totally disassemble it pretty easily and pop the wheels off, and it'll probably fit inside my boat box if I ever pack the boat up into that again. But yeah, so yeah, that's it. So that was a fun little project. Hopefully it works out. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, next up, hopefully we'll be on the water. All right, guys. So I wanted to end that video with me putting on the moth trolley on my moth and splashing the moth and sailing off into the sunset with it and doing some foiling, but unfortunately that's not the case. It's been pouring for about the past couple weeks here in Northern California, and so I've had a couple days of sunshine, but I'm super busy in the shop, or super busy installing stuff, and waiting for more weather windows to get out and install product on my customers' boats. We got a brand new Harkin Vangmaster that's going on that Morgan 46. Got a carbofoil headstay, carbofoil for J99, and the load cell going on there. So a few big projects. So yeah, so my sunny days are taken up with with my job. So, but don't worry, summer's coming, and there's gonna be plenty of wind and plenty of sunny, windy days to get the moth out. So yeah, but we've got a bunch of other projects going on. So you can see we got my 505 boom there. I've got 505 foils here. I just dropped the 505 actually off at Water Rat a couple weeks ago to get some love from on the foils, and you'll see those things that I'm having Larry at Water Rat do. So yeah, so stay tuned. There's gonna be plenty more action, and because I wanted some sailing in this video, I'm gonna show you guys some highlights from last weekend. We did a nasty stormy day on the Far 400 Astra. It was like started out at 2 knots and raining out, and then it built to like, I don't know, I guess it was like 16 knots with gusts to like 28, and it was just raining like crazy. And yeah, still fun though. Still fun. So we did that, and then a couple weeks ago, right before I took the 505 in for some surgery, I went out with our tuning partners in the 505s, and we went out and had a beautiful day on the water. I think that was like the last sunny day we've had, but yeah, we went out and that was a blast. So I'll just show you a couple little highlights from that. And yeah, so stay tuned. Be sure to click the the like and the subscribe, and yeah, if there's more content you guys want to see, just let me know. I'm loving doing this, and I appreciate that other people are enjoying watching these videos. So yeah, Rug Rigger out. Alright, here we are now. We're gonna go do some sailing. It's January. 5:05 time. We got 3 boats out. It's blowing, I don't know, what, like at least 12, 14? Yeah. So, should be fun to get out and get ripping. This guy just tried to jive the upwind like we did.
There we are, up on our shoulder here too. Alright.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want it, but yeah, we should.
Camera, the audience. I said that if that was a 3D camera, the audience would jump. Just come flying at me. Yeah. That's good. We catch a rumbling through that one. These guys are having a good time. The Italians are having a good time. Sailing out of it. There you go. Let her breathe.